Today we're going to take a look at LED light. It's Zhiyun Molus X200 RGB. So as the name indicates, this is a 200 watt LED light. This is RGB light as well, which gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of adjusting the color. I've been using this light on a couple different photo shoots. The results pretty good. 200 watt is a very interesting power range because it actually push to how to say it, like you can almost use this light under any lighting condition other than the bright daylight, and it's not powerful enough to compete with the sun. But other than that, it's pretty good. And they also give you, because it's more powerful, allow you to use a slightly larger light modifier. I use this together with a 24 inches light modifier, but for low light situation, you can use like 3 feet, 4 feet octa box with no problem. And the light is pretty bright for 200 watt LED. Actually, I used to use a 60 watt and 100 watt LED. That is already kind of good enough for me, but 200 watts just give you way more power. But this is not what this light is so special about. I mean, other than the fact it's a very small size, this light gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you can power this light. So you can power this light using V-mount battery, which is pretty good. Like a V-mount battery is very popular, is everywhere, and you don't like the other Zhiyun Molus light that you have to use the Zhiyun battery, but this time you can just use a V-mount battery. It also allows you to power it by using the USB-C cable. The USB-C cable, and according to the user manual, it allows you to use with a USB-C adapter that is no more than 140 watt. A USB-C power adapter, and with that power adapter, it gives you up to 70% of the light intensity. So if you decide to use a USB-C cable to power this light, the maximum you can get is 70%. For V-mount battery, I use a 99 watt hour V-mount battery that allows me to use the light up to 75% of the light intensity, and then roughly, if I constantly running at 75% brightness, the light can run roughly around half hour. According to the official number from Zhiyun is 28 minutes. And of course, this light also allows you to use a power adapter. Let me just grab it. And this is a power adapter, and this basically you just with power adapter you just can run the light forever, and then of course up to 100% light intensity. And once you're using the power adapter, definitely the light gonna look a little bit bigger. And this is what the light looks like with the power adapter. The fan running super quiet, and because when I was shooting outdoor, when during the daytime, I basically running close to the maximum power, and that's when I'm using with 24 inches octa box. And then the fan was constantly running during the time, and then it's super quiet. I don't need a quiet fan because I'm shooting photo, but for people shooting video, and if you worry about the fan noise, it's just as good as all the Zhiyun light, and maybe even quieter. I don't have any special equipment to test noise of the fan, but based on my experience, it's pretty good. In terms of power supply, there's another way you can power this light, which is using the expansion hub, which comes with the combo. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the expansion hub. The point of using this thing is because it allows you to attach 2 V-mount batteries. So then with 2 V-mount battery, you can run the light at 100% power. Well, I'm using 99 watt hour V-mount battery. The Zhiyun recommend is the minimum is 99 watt V-mount battery, and then they recommend something like 150. I think I don't have a 150 watt hour V-mount battery, but with 99 watt hour V-mount battery with 2 battery attached to this power hub, I can run the light 100%, and then it gave me around 1 hour like a running time if I'm running constantly at the maximum power. Something I want to mention about this power mount is if you decide to use a 2 V-mount battery on this expansion hub, Zhiyun's recommendations are using the same capacity of a V-mount battery. That's number 1 thing. The number 2 thing is minimum has to be 99 watt hour. And then if you're just using 1 V-mount battery, and then on the this extension hub, they mark the number 1 and number 2. You have to put the V-mount battery on the number 1 if you're only using 1 V-mount battery together with this expansion hub. So the other thing is like if you use a 1V mount battery, then maybe it's just easier to attach directly to the light, right? Well, yes, if you're doing studio, it really doesn't matter. But if you're shooting outdoor like me, and many times you don't want your setup too heavy. So actually this is similar as when you're running the strobe, they have like the power pack setup. This is my preferred setup for outdoor shoot because it's just not as heavy as the other configuration. This way, it allows you to maintain most of the weight at the bottom, so that way your light is more stable. I prefer doing that way, especially when you're running. It also allows you to run with 2V mount batteries. Okay, now let's take a look at the control of this light. Now let's take a look at how to operate this light. To turn on the light, we hold the power button at the top, and then we rotate the bottom dial 360 degrees. The lights turn on. There's 3 different modes that allow us to adjust the color. The first one is the CCT mode. This is basically as the color temperature in the Lightroom. So basically you use the top one to adjust the color temperature if you want to switch the intensity, or you want to add a little bit more of a red or green, you use the bottom one to switch, and then you can adjust the number. Press the bottom dial again, we switch to the second mode, which is HSI. Pretty much the same idea. You rotate, you use the bottom one to choose a function, and use the top one to adjust the value. Now the next one will be the RGB. This one allows you to assign any number to the red, green, and blue, and then you can mix into any color you like. You can also, of course, adjust the intensity. Then press the mode again. Now we get into the video function. These have some video effects, for, like between strobe or all these things, TV, lightning, everything. Then we press the mode again. We're back to the first one, CCT mode. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the accessories that come with the combo. One of the interesting one is this this reflector. Let me just put this reflector on. By the way, since talking about the reflector, this light is different from the other Molus Zhiyun light LED, like smaller, like a X100 or X60, which uses ZY mount. This one's actually use a Bowden mount. You basically can attach any Bowden mount light modifier directly to this light. Well, in terms of how heavy of a light modifier can handle, I couldn't find the information on their website, and I tested on the 3-foot octa box. There's no issue. I easily handled anything smaller than that. So this reflector, let's talk about this reflector. This reflector, according to Zhiyun, is designed for this light, which allow you to have up to 3 times more power output. It basically just like narrow the light beam a little bit, make it a little bit smaller, so the light is more concentrated. So if you're shooting using anything like you shoot through like a larger screen, or you're using like an umbrella, and this will be very useful. It just allows the light to be more concentrated. You just get more output out of the same light. And then I would like to talk about this bracket. This bracket is really well made. It's full metal, and then it also have this. The light was designed have this what they call like a precision hole, like anti-slip hole. Basically, it allows you once you mount the light on it, so you can see there's like the little hole right there. So the light's not going to twisting around, which is pretty good. And then this bracket is actually really high quality. It reminds me of the brackets of my Pro Photo light. Things that make like full metal, like a very solid. Once you tighten it, it doesn't seem like it's gonna slip. And also all these tilting functions, these are actually, they have the grooving here. So once you lock it, it's not gonna like slowly tilt down or things like that. It's very good. But I have one complaint about this bracket. The problem with this bracket is it doesn't have a mounting hole for the umbrella. Umbrella is one of the light modifier I love to use because it's just very convenient. It's very easy to carry around and very easy to set up and tear down. Just open the umbrella. But the problem with this, like I cannot use umbrella with this bracket because it doesn't have the umbrella mount. So I have to find another one that attach to this Zhiyun light. So I hope like they can, maybe in the future, they come up with a bracket that actually allow you to mount the umbrella. Okay, now let's talk about like, okay, who this light should be for. I mean, I can only speak from the perspective of photographers. For me, this light basically allow me to shoot in under any lighting condition other than the bright sunny day. the light is strong, but just definitely not strong enough to compete with the sun unless you use a very small light modifier or you just use a reflector like this way. But this problem is like the light gonna be too bright. Your model, your subject's not gonna be very comfortable with it unless you're constantly wearing sunglasses. So I think using video for bright sunny day is not very practical. Like if you're doing photo, strobe light will be just a much better choice. But we don't always shooting under bright sunny day. Like me, I live in Vancouver, and here is very famous for like lots of rains, and then we got many cloudy days, and yeah, for that, like many times, or sometimes we shoot indoor as well. So actually, many times, like for me, I think probably more than half of the situation I'm shooting like with the ambient that is not bright. Like of course, we all like shooting like golden hour, blue hour, and then if you're like shooting during the night, like LED light gonna be your best friend. I mentioned on my previous video before, and the fact it allows you to change the color temperature, match the ambient is very, very useful. And that's when the strobe really struggling, because strobe's only daylight balance. When you're trying to match the street light or the tungsten light from the window or anything, or to watch the colder color from the sky, and RGB gonna be your best friend. Or any bicolor light, this one just like, it even has RGB, so it's even better. And the fact that the LED light allow you to tune down the power into a very minimum power, and it can shoot much lower power compared with the strobe. The other one with the strobe, problem with the strobe is the light could be too bright. So when you're trying to match the ambient, when trying to balance it, it's very hard, because you'll find out even though you're shooting at the minimum power using a flash or strobe, it's still too bright. With LED, it's just much easier to do that. I think if you're for shooting on the like a daytime, 24 inches, you'll be fine. And actually, when I'm shooting with strobe, 24 inches light modifier is something I use during the daytime anyway, so it's perfect size. And then if you want something bigger, like a 3 or 4 feet octa, and daytime you might not have enough power. Like I'm talking about like a bright daytime, not as bright as sunny day, but just a bright daytime. But when it's getting like a blue hour or nighttime, and then basically any type of light modifier, this light can handle that. Even if you're shooting with like a 6x6, like a light screen and then diffuser, and then you don't even need 100% power. So 200 watts is really good. And then the other thing is this light is very small. This is the smallest 200 watt light. Well, this one doesn't justify the size, because actually if you attach the V-mount battery, let me just attach the V-mount battery one more time so we can see how big it is. So after you attach the V-mount battery, so this is what the light gonna be look like. So it's gonna be this big, but this is still the smallest 200 watt light, LED light ever used. And the fact it have this expansion hub, which allow you to easily remove the V-mount battery, and the light is not head heavy, so you can shift the weight to the bottom, make it very suitable for outdoor shoot. I think this is a very good solution for outdoor shoot. Yeah, so basically this is how I feel about this light, and I think if someone can make the light this small, and then I definitely don't mind to using a 200 watt light. I normally don't like to use too powerful light outdoors, simply because usually they're bigger, but this is a very good size, very good solution. All right, so yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.